This is one question. No,
wow, yeah, I've a simple question. I said last week, young
Netine say, ya a guru no a wunkurase. It say ukunkurase until last week ne ya kunkurase a yereba. Ya meduntem. Na inkurase no ho na say ye ko ne ko kan asem ne ye ba ne Ghana fo yen adom. Na you ye be ye president aniama ye be ya magana fo no enye eno ne concept ya ye hui education ministry ya what in one koye what the mama
discuss
what the mama education ministry concept any one laptop
what shall see ana any to aso preko na we mama bi sanu kosa to aso your excellency
eh
and now you launch one student one laptop
Ghana for Mesremo, ye kasa munti why. Na asemi ehuhia, yeah. A couple of things. One student, one laptop, no, still. Students in a way by him. 1.3 million students. 1.3 million students in a laptop I want to procure near 450,000. Into 450,000 laptops, no, a better no much. Ama nipa 1.3 million. Inti say no. Woba beye kululu criteria bi no de amema laptops no. Chese it doesn't even make sense because adinti one ye adina in its entirety. You were creating gaps. We creating gaps no so na chese knowledge a wo pese wo de bema students no system no every consistent and complete. Adinti because we to be case students 100 were classroom, woman 50 laptops, woman 50 laptops. Ebeden na wet to me one sync, sa synergistic energy a wo here na wobeye juma real time na ebeden na possible. So debia na me buy na me ba make say free senior high school no concept no eyadea ankebe bua Ghana funya na worry a free senior high school education abrochiri ni bebia enibue wo ho a won adwene kwa animu no education na a full spectrum discipline full spectrum nature say what education as a spectrum baby amofre ni fiase titiru no at the foundational level no na woma won akade na wonti wo betumi build one foundation educational foundation na eno no kra no wokodu high school level no ne tertiary level na we build a solid foundation ninti no niamane pi wo ho no ma wotumi sua without intervention from government and systems ewo ho later. Na yen no basic any junior high school level no kindergarten the sanya mani na yen fasika nche ho wo fa abofra no raw na wa how we go through that process next at senior high school level no wa bese we man free education onya foundation here inti say a we ba be man laptops nko enye complete no. How are they going to be able to use the laptops effectively and efficiently? Number two, laptops now what they are my students no. Teachers now as I say will coordinate management of courses no na mo friend to mission real time no. One wonya laptops here. One I just say watch radio no. In team say mo friend be enya laptops. Say iPads. Or the classroom ho no kura iPad no and a laptop no disua de na teacher nina so or coordinate the management of classes no na ono no disua de no ono no laptop no onye in sync with sa system no inti sa management system no how does it go down to the students say fe mo hu say na yen niama inti de bia no ye dimrika ne akoye yi oh social intervention. One district, one farm. One district, one yakoye. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. 'Yakoye, 'we are what they are for who a disika. ' sika what the African games here be se mahu a ubehu na pitch enye just say who runs this country education no he the poverty gap ayewo ewo Ghana no eye a technology gap inti na ama abasa nyame adom say because of artificial intelligence bia me bara meka captain because o Kofi kan twi muntie na meka ni ye mesremo enya ade a Kofi Koranteng no reka this is where we are in wiase baby ayeduni artificial intelligence, cellular intelligence, augmented reality, nominally virtual reality, nominally all the other technologies about quantum computing, nominally nanotechnology na abano. Eye baby ayabedu Africa young near what the strength yet the best power side identity because 66% of young population no eye youth. SSA ye power won resources see ye de mawono eye non-existent. Want to me emma enye haphazard in technology because technology no has to be a full circle because at the strength of what technology na ye at the weakest point there be a wouldn't in honey be mini afa inti so worry ye what the intervention be ba na worry ye system be a SSA na ye kan say mo de montena se na mo nwini ade no huye president akodi achi one student one laptop and so students no enyo bia no wanya laptop curriculums the even one yen kakra because the American say you can't convince me say ayen kakra na ministers awodi achi no what $160,000 VAT mu 2023 2024 now who students hey mpacho meboa mon kan kire me in basic infrastructure wo here wo schools no wo new school feeding programs ni na break down mo freni nya duan kura ni wonya koko esikire nim wonya koko brodonka ho iti na American say he abrochiri sa wo pese adwene ni mubue na onipa no sua dia mineralization of the body say wo benye duan pedi any recreation say wo sua de na me ko NYU am sua de wo me sua de more than 30 minutes because at 22 minutes no wo retention if you say dip inti after 20 effectiveness in learning no after 22 minutes bia na say where your mental recording as I say we take break now we the recreation bibi bem na I don't know to me absurd wo ability to record view ni na techniques a we disua de inti na American say sanya me na yenye na yende ne ya na say nipa 1.3 million yakra akọ juru sika wo get fund mu na na de akoto 450 laptops ama won yenim se ne ye beche inti no eba beye protocol ni who you know no money ade inti system ni na ba be siniti ase teachers
and it will be assume so say the textbooks no enu kwase ekobiem because ni nyina gu tablets no so
yeah tio first of all no eyi na kire say yenwene impanyimfo he munim say ye be sa laptop intervention yi enso Pasco ni adina moko printed papers meboa
68 million Ghana cedis.
It is 68 million no as a education minister wo first wo yiwadi ministry be or involved in sa Pasco ya wo print ya munim se mudi sika kwa akoto laptops a mu sika kwa akoto laptops na erenso enso mudi 68 million ko printed papers na ese mu na we gwa mo wo wi a won yiwadi wasan de mo to jail aka ho because e Ghana fu sika na makodi Eduang school feeding program. Teachers, mama can say the best person first, SSA, was sorting it out. What you play mu? No, I can say in an emergency decompression bar. The first thing I can say, mask na oxygen woman no. What's the fashion wo ho first me boa. What the decompression mask be show ho first. Answer na what you attempt to say we buo bia say we abofra so your elderly person. Denti because nipa kono or controls our energy no if you don't take care of them woni anije any ahoden what be take care of one responsibility. In America say teachers nankasa SSL one work coordinate sa communication ni one computers any one asset na mu no kra no mo hwe ho asem nkae pi no wontua won kae muntua won kae modika computers amuka se mo de beba ya sa de ye fi ase enye no mo kai se be 2 years ago waka se wo be ma teachers computers baby I light kra ni mo koma mo se mo koma nkrofu computer
mo ti obi 500 cedis
eso when ya won computers eno asam ni nsi nwie yo Marco Feya baby o se mo de kwa akokra I mean na say no seriously inti na memory can say inti Ghana fo keke na mo se ye jimi inti de bia no mo beba be ye yense mo fra ni nya aduani ni basic infrastructure blackboard so cry say what inti say what betena blog so na when your laptop wow hey me dwene ho a me say who runs this Ghana fo mesremo NDC and MPP RLG time sana inconsistency see by NDC time I know what RLG meaning say what kind RLG what kind of what computers and also procurement of computers no wonim nipa mesramo 2024 anything I say me Kofi Koranteng so a simple plan wonim nenti because young no 10 ministers pe 10 ministries pe yen fesi kan koye niama ehu hia de bia se na mekan wo de mesa babio na for now no mo mayen fa adwene why 2024 na Ghana for a bread do obia rebre
innocence
yeah and some of so I think you better run it through some of the issues and with this laptop per student or tablet per student we know yet high obi anyhow say and we are not anti-government just trying to say things yes because yet na high kase we are saying assume a certain pace of innovation and to remain competitive technologically I think that you need to advance so a ways of pushing people to that level is a way of doing some of these things but I think that the past must always give us a clear pathway on our way forward because Tikroma na Kofi make reference to RLG your first laptop supply to student yenina ehu de ekosi wo kroma say laptop no so a ebitimi tware ne ho a be 30 minutes na so and as we speak o share laptop no unhu bi system no so you see that mistake in the past should usher us into the future and prepare us in a way if we are rolling out a similar way the mistakes that erupted from RLG your friend is saying deal should usher it into a new pathway and I be free saying can be a dream and ya fe na ye kwatena say ye kwakoto laptop 450 to be given to your friend is saying 1.3 and there is no clear-cut way because the minister when he appeared before parliament he himself aware how check tablet as to whether they are going to pilot every region or maybe they will select a school or whatever they don't even know and schools there are fundamental challenges these kids are going through, especially with the implementation of this free SHS and the basic level. I don't even want to go there. You see, I always moot this argument. Is nature argument. I mean, nature is out. Nature and the breeding criminals. It's the kind of orientation, social orientation, cultural orientation, political orientation, lifestyle orientation and they determine who the person becomes. So much time omunya our school. That is why the last time I was telling you, just imagine so wafa back any team now would not come teacher near nyansa and odili introducing something because what laptop mono now would be some programming. The other best that is what become. That is why they are very, very cautious about acquiring in the early age, who takes care of that because Sakraninya Foundation, writer, when nothing can change. That is why at the early level, no, as a they make sure that we do significant investment. Go to our schools at the basic level, no. Obi or throw secondary school when English one pass, maths one pass, science one pass. Na ya fano kochiram kura na de. So mentality, the psyche. All they can say, nipa no ni buafu no ho dada. And all the te ho. Enti akra any least provocation bia no bi betimi abba akra so and maka just say you see ayem kra sometimes we train akra at that age. So what tia akra very dangerous. What people don't know. It is better to beat a child than to solve tia no. People don't know, you see, akra na they end up going into alcohol, drugs and as akra or yakra. That's what Tiano uti tantan and uti I say when you use their part to describe them. Onama psychologically dinachi. Enti obedruba been the peers. Even so who do secondary school obi compare or just or no mensa. Do you know why? Because you can't win the teams and nitiabam. Enti okojina ni panenim no kasa psychologically so hadn't the nim. Enti no esa of a lawyer. Just to feel confident. It is a yes, man. Even confidence club feel with Dimuno. It always and always, to be able to say over to me and then the pairs I be a set of a lawyer, either drug or maybe alcohol. I want here a best. So these things, are very, very important as a government, you spend the time at the basic level and ensure say you bet me a map and cry not that particular future. But then go to the villages. There are some of the schools and so boomer. And recently, yes, yes, and this is on Maya. Yatam Sika over 50-something million cut off past questions in us for chairman crowd. So you see, some of these things I am for, but you see, we need to get our priorities right. Now, no joy the documentary be one thing. Yes, empty plates or whatever. So we have videos, Now we have the feeding pattern of students. Now, Kofika, Accra. Your friends the kind of nourishment nutrient and the bit me school most there. So at the end of the day, a rush. Even at the you need to fight for survival. At the end of the day, what is the kind of orientation I had exactly. And the health, the impact in the saying, I cried about this, I must be a dear nako. So you see, and your politics keke. Because your promises are the incredible laptop. And America too. Sana ya America too could roll out the free SHS and the problems in the Guyan Sabuno. Ya say free SHS and your constitutional framework taught it why say education at this level. I don't know, mind be a personal advance here, you need education. And see, you do baby, as economy, no edge and the national say, bet me roll out without hindrances. Biana, we should roll the free SHS. I could follow by he made that promise. But looking at the challenges that Ghana was going through, especially at the time of minor, they declare bankrupt or minor a coming here into Ayaka. Now, Bassa will be a free SHS without coming out with any way out. I said, a bit me pass a cost, a bit to some parents. And again, there are multi. National companies or more chrome has or musica do no who don't find empty man. I had a sponsor no TV because government any plan be or planner. Look at a company like MTN. How many students and Muntimi adopted under free SHS policy? I am to me and show more. Look at Vodafone. How many kids and there are other corporations or more chrome government can give them certain tax incentive and tell them say okay you can adopt 10,000 free SHS students, pay their fees, and at the end of the day I am giving you tax incentive. Again, some of the parents are worthy enough say apart from say OT or non and bad they can pay extra.
I can afford to said it.
Good. So you see, and complex way it's just common sense. So as I'm making say this addition and subtraction free mobile who say kakrana antema no mu woman asabi. The government will be relieved and will be able to do this. But you promise it, the baba and then look at the state of our schools. What kind of kids are we breeding? It's not that our people going through the schools coming out with certificate, and that is the challenge that we have. We are breeding a lot of fake intellectuals, giving them certificate. At the end of the day, when they come and or kasakura, say school now passing the move, or then they pass it through the school because we are contra. Surrounded with problems. Do you know why people go to school? You see, and now make culture be say things like school, hospital, and security. They provide third-party services. And this is my police for my soldier for my those things don't grow economy. Those things offer third-party services. For instance, the school is there, and a profit-oriented organization. The school is there to train people, equip them with knowledge and skills, so that when they come to the job market, they can perform. the hospital is there to provide health care to these people. So when they come to the job market, they will perform. The security is there to provide peace and making sure that peace and tranquility will prevail so that these people, when they come to the job market, they can perform. So you see, these three areas here, preparing people to come to the job market. When they come, what are they coming to do? So if you have a focus, that is why we set up industrialization. And as for the workforce, will get something going and production will go high. But you see, your school, and the universities, look at the disconnect between academia and the industrial world. People from the university, how we preparing so they can transit into the industrial world and become competitive. Your school a distance away from where we are today. So I think that we need a holistic approach as a country. This is not something that can be left to the discretion of few people who think that they have political power and they will do things because that is what they did in the past. Abraham Napoleon as a forum did those policies in the buy, people said no, this is not the way to go because the challenge is not yet pay. So a few days after, here we are. People are calling for the revision of the free SHS policy. And it's even external institutions who have realized that the kind of dividend we are supposed to get, but you market success by the number of people going through school, giving them certificate, and that is enough. The impact of the knowledge, nobody's considering. So at the end of the day, we are professors, doctors, and so forth, but the basic problems why we can solve. Look at our universities, the School of Science and Technology, basic power, are they able to provide their own electricity? Why can't we transform some of these institutions into places where deep research into producing something? That last time I care about the speed, saying railway system. It was a project started by the university. I upgrade to a level where some of the countries have adopted it to where universities, a research, making sure that we fund them. You can't blame the university because no funding is also going. Because people are really...
No research allowance,
that is the problem. So you see, politics, that is why we need to go beyond the politics. I said, we are by NDC, MPP, now we will not get the closure. But at the end of the day, it is the future of our kid and our stake. So I think that it's time I have certain saying consensus be education, dear, you find your NDC, you find your MPP. Because other countries they don't do education with politics and as for US and as for me say the institutions and the machineries that run these things, they are very sensitive area. So you can't leave it to the sole discretion of a politician who is just coming to spend 4 years. At the end of the day, they will leave that thing in tatters and then they will go away. And me for we home. Comment na poll and make it about doom so. You see, reflected how people we have entrusted political power into their hands and do not respect the people. Because I will hear the tone, I know the casa, and someone now all kind of for you could see clearly that this is a guy who feels he's better than people, and so he can just feel, and that arrogance, that fiber of arrogance in that guy, is so amazing. So I was shocked when people were thinking that. Yeah, found out a running mate him and for me say, are you serious as a country? Because this is a guy who your father say when it comes to arrogance, young kasa nipa kasa, come and cry, yeah, catch nipa. He doesn't even know how to talk. Because isn't it a fact that you're doom so problem? And the reasons it could be anything. All you have to do is to calm the people down and assure them. See, if people are asking for timetable, now and never juma, so produce a timetable. Tell them you talk to the authorities, whatever. Because the reality is that Ghanaians are battling with doom so, and anonymity IPP CEO no Kasara. I say government cannot blame Omo because if they are owning them, they will shut down their plant. Because why is that government? Cheap source of power, air hydro. Yeah, there are other African countries at a cheap, I think 14 cents per something. They are outsiders. And we are charging our people more because we are relying on other sources of power. So I know that we are government, now we are serious. These are some of the innovative ways you look at to ensure that you review the system. Say, the pressure on the ordinary Ghanaian, so better. But all talk about saying, they have cheaper source of power. They have power is sustainable. But because independent power producers, they are not being paid, and a challenge. And the only way I'm meeting a Kasama government is to shut down their plant. And that is exactly what is going on. So government must come clean. Speak to the people. These are the real challenges. Because we were here recently when you told us, say power no, you're in excess. You who they find yet no be a sign take and pay. So you have communicated sufficiently. Say power no, you're in excess. So what is the actual problem? Governance and no sunsumu. Ye nipa na ye politics here. If there is a challenge, speak to the people, communicate to them, let them know what is happening. But Akwakwa say, Snipper didn't feel they are better than the rest of us. You see, these people were just walking on the fringes. Now they were Omunyo Bia until the average and the ordinary Ghanaian decided to entrust political power into their hands. And then Abemoa Yobi, Debia Meka, Akufo-Addo before 2016 no nam da nchemu no Onamana who's a police in soldier dinachi. But Ghana for the 2 million man, and today he works with the full list of police and military. Mahama quite recently was working with the same thing, and Onama, he's an ordinary person, former president of Tinifie. What I say? So the power of the people, no, we need to respect. And anytime there the 2 million one side, you need to ensure that sa 2 million a super bam so because whatever happens, you go home. But the legacy you leave behind. Why do we sit here always and talk about Kwame Nkrumah? Because he leave a legacy transcending beyond generation. The guy was a or people into the future, or projecting into the future. I think deep. These are the kind of leaders that we have. Leaders are rated with arrogance. Kasai before Onua Maakye airtime. Journalists who be and some now we Tony Chika as Minister of State. Clearly, you see that these are old people with infantile orientation so far as politics is concerned. Because nobody is going to hold him accountable. As ever, who is holding anybody accountable? So that level of disrespect, between people we entrust because you're free say, oh, politics is about media hana mijina. So we are not looking at the issues. We have invested too much emotions into politics, and I'm saying, sir, we are not supposed to invest emotions. Adiano, it is about the fact, the issues on the ground. Politics, if don't sit there, don't keep quiet. Let us confront the issue, deal with them. So challenges soon are on the side of government. Be bold enough, open up to people, but you prioritize it. You find partisan value from a seminum dance, open to people and tell them, say, this is the real situation. Maybe if you open up and tell people, say, this is the challenge, at least give us some time. And then it will give the ordinary person the time to also plan the name and to say, oh, cost on our year, at least. Ubenya copper plant. Sabaya a cut off because this time it is going off. Yeah. But this time, baby, I meant to say, in a day, light needs to cut off 3 times. And I'm telling you, Kofi, I was telling you, my MacBook, I say, I want to make up because of this power outages. Yes. Yes.
So it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. So we need to respect the people. Now, minister will be able to be south Samoya. Obedience as a catcher original to top phone and as a for money because you have the 2 million. And these are people I say running mates and as well. Because governance, you know, you're free say you joke. Yeah. You're free and just serious thing. Because a serious thing are things that no such characters will not even come close. Because we've listened to him in the past, has a reaction, our education ministry. And say anytime you have an opportunity to speak, then we do this NDC MPP comparison. Who cares? We are not voting. This time, no, you are not somebody on the campaign frame. Exactly. You have been given political power. Solve the problem. This is not the time to be making references. And away you say, now what are you doing as a minister? I think they should shut up and fix the problems.
That's right. Yeah. Ghana from Pese Muti as a man. Ye Kofi Koranteng na oka. Ye fact, science-based, data-driven, clinically proven. Na Americans say abufrebia wawona between the ages of time awowono no and 7 years old no. And an adjune I say sponge. Effort bibia absorb bibia in the environment because wawu abufra. Adjune a ode beria sena et say CPU, Central Processing Unit, a blank computer. Ne environment is na Ivan Rekano school ewo impact to abofra no so more than anything because when honor or spend most amount of net time. Yeah. Inti abrochi ne baby a develop no between 0 and 7 years no will make sure say.
I say when here omokra change yeah. That's the basis.
Yeah. What hey me ba where the 5 me ko ni school no 3D computers are what they are printing normal computer aided design ya mo ye no me ye wo school no man who bisa so but you a very critical say ye mamofrana foundation. Now the reason in America say 7 years now after 7 years now ni CPU no wa build parameters for na wobema abofra a perspective eno no ode ye reasoning no to me di hu from ono ne perspective no to me select ne ye ni na enye no download to ne system no eno ne beye ne personal reality na eno no develop to ne personality munti asema making now in the next 3 to 6 years the world is going to move at 100 years. In the next 3 to 6 years, we are about 100 years. 100 years because of quantum computing in T. Any generative AI, any artificial general intelligence, Nisani mano. About move 100 years. This is the timer. Intina debia mekansi. You impact people at the foundational level point of school, and yet at the terminal end. Free SHS a terminal focused. Just say ebedu sa time na bofra ne foundation wa crystallize the dawuni team. Inti adwene na enye as malleable go to me dang no. But any Kofi Koranteng no ko.
I don't know. I'm chipping this. I don't know how I say. Said na Ivan Kyei. Yeah. Teacher for no come much like idea because of orientation. Na ye from the basis throughout. And my university no cries because they say Chu and Paul. Nipa no kwa no read this slides that wabetro is lecturers no cry themselves one churo dia what the slides obetum. For you to use your own understanding of the topic or course to write exams yabe mark wrong or pedito enti dia yaso yabe say yakwa ni achiu exams time ni apo upo ria ekọ. And that's the reason why when we come to the job market nipa no PhD and so the niema
yeah and no need problems see fundamental problems here want to say young problems are here one and you're consistent with young curriculums ne send na young education system nete inti Ghana pet near war a society where graduates are useless you to for 1 year here if you say wanna go through the whole matriculation process and so no 1 year functional to the needs and requirements of development for young society but to you and no so krano what the visa no could do abroad the system no nimsenia we put one back into the system now what reformat one adjune now what to me effective aden na yen visa wo sa aden na yen
because when you say Ghana when you say Ghana you're very intelligent because say there Mr. Koranteng who can Ghana ni nya through plane not trapo
me see
no drew America drew UK baby drew bia automatically no be na betre no
or you're functional
system no man function automatically on for rubber to abonten te said you gina Ghana ha oba junso get them the ball out to get them no automatically we do our system no ama na gene here adwuma
so
we are very intelligent if the system starts to work we will cooperate
yes. So I think that you see this institutional degradation elsewhere you have the institutions in place and this institution and they interface by individual discretion where one person wake up and say oh the person made the laptop back. No, it is a well thought programmer stakeholders and
it's a whole program.
Oh yes. Yes, and these things
just to solve political points
and yet left to the discretion of few politicians. I structure, I study the problems. I educational system no. Because there is this principle say breaking fixing it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So we start from the scratch. Engage stakeholders. The educational structure and from basic to the top there. What are the problems? If you're able to tease out these challenges, then we weave solution. That's why the last time I was telling you, free SHS, you're good. So, but we need to identify what the problems are first. You identify a problem, then we weave a policy to capture those challenges. But it is about politics. And as some way, Go to the other media platforms. Oh, ayapa abano NDC for RNG for muchebi abano so chebia and yashe. That is the conversation. But as to say problems, real problems in our ground now as people, you have to educational system, no here proper structure. That structure and bet me standing the test of time. Me laptop your muche. Yeah, let us sit here. After 2 years, RNG laptop, who will chroma say? Because company na yede deal na man no kwa ye those chese ade pasabi umia so 30 minutes na egusu tware na ho emie
ye laptop ni din
oh
student mate one.
So you see because you see they are pushing it because obia ko sign contract na obenya na kata through and that is all that matters. Laptop we me see a buy yen try na yenya bi nemfa mrafia say na obehu ne core processing we kwan fa so eye aduba na we are not still after 1 year you will not find. And you see if there is a proper system you realize say ade ye de ma akwara ma na de akofie na owie school na okwa o de call na ban ma to
just imagine
so owie a obeja wo school mu ho
just imagine hey yeah me question a memory bisa a obia ntumi in answer me ya me pe no pe me nkasa bio my question I'm and say in the next 3 to 6 years, sir, we are say remove 100 years into the future. No, 100 years into the future. No, then preparation na yen yere yen preparation na yere na then. So, and no pen na me pese me because muntio he. Nra Maria TikTok Ameria no nkrofo pi ba so be bisa me say Kofi foreigners are taking Ghanaian jobs, foreigners are taking our jobs, foreigners are taking inti Ghana for ye be den ana Ghana for munti asema America. Ghana for are trained to be technicians. Ghana for are not trained to be entrepreneurs and business owners. Inti na yenye tumi ya ne se ye adwuma wo mukase ye carpenter ye bo nade ye bo nua ne ade onipa obi ofia brochiri ba no wan train ne se na adwene ne be business owner entrepreneur inti oba ofa Ghana fo na no de egu kitchen se mod mon nya aduan no oni maduan no ho aduan bibia ye nso no no make big money. Yeah. Because young education system no elake say ye be training crofo na ye be mo wan functional in an environment say from time you have a basic understanding of idea opposite way no to when you become a business owner entrepreneur who to me build a business. For this economy no you hear business owners, business builders, you hear technicians munti na mekani. We have to train our people how to work on our business, not in our business. They train people, concentration is not in the business. To learn how to work in your business, you become a technician. Young old curriculums, so you see what the training young obroni by no per se young mano. Inti curriculum sayedi edumani na ye about say we training young how to work in our business, technicians, back office. Inti ye ni adwene na yedi ye business owners. Enu so nti na ya wahwa. Businesses pia ye start wa han ai den egu. Wachi mattress. Inkulenu sa na mani na because the mind say we be train obi na we be duplicate wo ni idea wesua business ownership adwena wesua wo be duplicate na wo be replicate sade no eni ho organum. It's been trained to say wo no de wo be adwuma wo mukase na wo be give wo be technician adwuma. So inti say some mindset ni echi na American say inti baby everybody be for the next 100 years no they are going to own us.
Excellency aseme na okay 100 years ben
They be 100 years no yeah everybody in 3 years.
Sure.
3 years no every 100 years. Now American say 100 years no riba in the next 3 years.
I agree with you.
You now American say because technology never be move in quantum leaps no. Yeah be so far behind the say me how ne say Ghana for no yen to me catch up. What ba before money yempo he it's not about ownership. It's not about say yefi Ghana. Enye na adeno eya ne denu no dio. Kan no na ya de wo no die. Eya no tumi e monetize no. Muntie na mekani yi. Inti say wukọ osu ene Labonia compound houses na wo hon. Abrofo ne foreigners na ba. They understand say we own compound housing owned by families. When you feel what they do is say they take part of the compound house. No one see 3-4 story building. Now one monetize sa space now when see na mono mugare we dio. Adechia mo de mo kraba ko hwie mo dun so good toilet you got a move outside. Not on no air water closet. Not on the apartments na high $1,000 a month. Hina no di there. Wa we own na ono onim how to use the mind na or the monetize no. Inti the new age na ya kom no. Enya wa we owner of adeno. Wo yire na yire no do berema fufure a. Enya wo yire. Enu baby ya kodu ning inti 100 years ye be call in the next 3 years no. Ghana no yenye technologically savvy. Ye bibia wo koyen systems na ba humia ba oka digitization nature macho say a virtual reality nanotechnology and quantum computers any artificial general intelligence and no wo say wo
na AI no ka ko amoti ase o mi na adokode amoti ase because you know why data ya see ya digital ukroma no me de ma bufu kwa na say wonim say ye Ghana card keke Ghana card ya ne yiba omi ase onya ba ko pe kura onpe sample can interchange so say Ghana card data no kura eni ye ho.
Yeah, you see
the control Ghana card data na esha abrofu bi botuom.
You see, the danger yet some houses here lurking right in front of us. I am pay attention to. You see, on mine yet him no. All the critical infrastructure and make it on mine or minor. We don't own. Go to our banking sector. All the players within our banking sector are foreign-owned banks. Even Nigeria for crown, I will say, a banking sector because Kendo Forata decided to say or shut it your part. Go to the telecommunication industry and then. So BBC or Chroma, now this company decide to pull out, you'll be left with nothing. You can make cost. The internet provision then as for a government a mistake. Now outage hereby, they have to rely on third-party communication source and send them my information because government couldn't do a thing. Well, you don't control anything. So and natural so mine yet you're independent. We are just joking around. You see, now Kofi care about education. Education, how do we even prioritize them? I know the last time I want to say will be a university. Depending 4.0 GPA, now mine on one abaso. And then, Obiti Chroma, Nasa Netoswa, or free say, Sabi, on the swarm for what will be okra, first class, our university.
Yes.
Because that is how we've created a culture. And you go social media, I crack it to our own, not the talk with the camera, no, or the following the Unkona, I'm not for follow. So you see, people think, say, I don't know value at a university no. So there is this psychological shift away. So and now who cares? If we free send to know where TV so yeah beauty contest. Now companies like a push sika we really try to take it abano Dubai no nam. Nipa no to university o sua there na sabi we think say nipa we know we need to support them. Sabi o metimi abo because we need to leadership must be a conscious project. I say yeah. Who is who? And that's why and the support will be. And this is a man who Timnas or Toshonas or so on for what time will be at university first class. Actually, how we are going.
I say, I must be and no for some.
Exactly.
But be a bad affair competition.
Yes.
We're not for support.
And you see,
for Fraba to know.
Few days after, the kind of cars and then as far as I'm for them, the same thing given to them by the politician who was supposed to use state money to sponsor these people. Then as for them, my last one, I'm in parliament. I think there a issue may key interest.
Okay.
And I think
the new ministers, no.
Yes, I think there never be cause we need to be very careful because you see, the democracy in as much as
careful. Ivan, you're careful.
We see, the democracy is fragile, and we need to be very careful and operate cautiously. You see, Speaker acted via or yes, one janty way, pending way. No, I think that it is a reflection of the president's conduct.
Yeah.
Because over the years, President yes, quite recently, Mika say, let us choose peace and live in peace.
Yeah.
But if somebody decides to give you a battle, give them war. Because that is the only language a bully understands. And you choose peace. But will be decided so about battle for war. That no the day you settle and it is all. You see, the president has one way or the other try say bully be apart from so what bully institutions and so forth and then go to parliament and so forth. And I think that it's quite nasty. Say you about do a level here the LGBTQ law brother wouldn't sign and by force because the constitution. You see, so what kind of chapter 10 of our constitution, article 106 down was bar if the president decides say sign winner what you have to do. But you see, he's creating a very dangerous precedent where a time will come. These institutions now are more right to perform their constitutional mandate, you know, or be better sorry to injunct them from doing whatever they are doing. And I think that's a very dangerous precedent. Because President Akufo-Addo quite recently, I catch it and said, he levy, even though not our court injunction, that's he went ahead. But me, because I am with the conviction, say, in the discharge of his duties as president, you know, he cannot be stopped from exercising those functions.
Sure.
Or we now free says something has gone on toward that you can challenge it.
Moreover, so you leave your sem now never court to a president and go ahead and sign, you know. I was saying.
No.
Because you have the power to do it.
Yes. And see, I could do maybe that's a parliament exercising the function. You see, I've sent him a deal to a letter now or cautioning parliament not to transmit in Yaa Titi. Yes. At the consideration level, no, there is this woman called Amanda, or the your friends in Parliament Echo Court, seeking say Supreme Court injuncted Parliament from say you consider bill. Supreme Court can say no. Parliament duty now all at that point, you know, on to me injuncted and do pay money and it's a Parliament na juma now consider bill no we. Now say you approve transmission of the bill, no, form a part of the core your friends legislative duty.
Yeah.
So if that is the ruling by the Supreme Court. It means that it cannot be injuncted. And now we are president, now say speaker, say yes, you're injuncting no, man transmitting or transmit ya. Then you panel audit we no call no. I never me file for contempt. Oh, how they say? Yeah, charge speaker for contempt. There was him. All you have to do is to accept it. And if you want to delay, I'm saying that there are several ways because the constitution in that particular room, you can raise a lot of concerns, and the whole thing will go back to Parliament. And by the time because the all year and say the time be someone no sign it. There are several ways you can do to do it. And even I didn't go to our senior no. Yes, you publish in the Gazette. You can even seek to injunct that particular process. I know the day no why are we the area Parliament are any the area. The course will be our own file, then you leave it to the discretion of the court. But I yes I near my way na Parliament will interpret it as an overstretch of executive arm into the throat of the Parliament, and they will not sit down and do anything. That is why a speaker and also who said, "Do mu ye dia and mensono." Say there are some no court menso at this point in time, no. Menso being consider even Onimpa say he has the power and the right to consider because Parliament in its core functions, no court can stop them from doing so. Yeah. But he's taking a cue and inspiration for what the president is doing. So yes, say dear way. That's a key organ institutions of state like this. A flexible muscle in and a violent power play like this. I say on my concentration by the to focus on core issues and then as a forum. Important. With this particular bill, beyond the legislation, there are several key things that we need to do as people to ensure. Say yes, LGBT. No, it's not just about law. No, it is about other considerations. Beyond that, cultural, social orientation. Movies, you see, we need to focus the energy, but we see we are emotional people. Politics, everything politics. Discussion. One of the last time I want to say we are raising beyond the legislation conversation. What to be that? Because Oko US and as for more culture, no, you're embedded into what movies and then as for them. And the LGBT is everywhere because every single movie you watch today, you have episode of gayism, lesbianism embedded in it, and these things are spilling across border. We are watching it here. So our kids are watching. They are being exposed, and I told you about cry at their formative years. Their head is empty. These things are being normalized. When they see gay, it's normal. They will grow and appreciate it. You see, so we need to go beyond these jokes. Now, people will understand.
All right, Zabranteng, thank you very much. And I'll be wrapping up in 1 minute.
Oh, me can say. Ghana, baby, I do know. The whole trick with this gay idea in the set to send an aminu account, what person will normalize a trick. Inti were normalizing na say young adreno who says the LGBTQ no, it's come and it's here to stay. The next episode, is going to be more damning. But na American say we have a responsibility to bequeath the next generation with a better Ghana. Send one wodija yenga yede abiduhan. As we have a responsibility, we have to do the right thing. Leaders of NDC and MPP are what they young life a guru for 67 years. Now make 67 years because there was a continuum. Muma yenso yenye proud of Ghana. Mama yam build a new Ghana, a totally new Ghana. Nipa se betna se wo parliament na wo dwene. Enye sankrofo ya wogu ha what the young life abocha skilling na ye basa.
Okay.
Ye de mase 2024 yam fa dwene in vote. Enye sankrofo yi atakakra ne atapani. Wonye nipa ese se ye de Ghana hyewa se bi ye de mase.
Yes, yeah, that's say. Let me put it across. Meaning, say, any padudu na when did that kwansi ye ni abema bongo idea say be dim come pacho. Ya reschedule interview nti kwabia so ye de ebebro because of one or two reasons. Yeah, we have to reschedule interview nti ye pamocho ebeba but not today. Me try me ho abasisi but don't forget say me ba ye beche cash out to see can be a draw so na ye nche ba akokura 24,000 no egua e twen ye nti mesrew o register ho draw no so a ye star 439 hash na wa select option 3 what the 5 series pay wait me twa more than that with chances of winning ebe ye more. Yaa Kofi Koranteng